I've almost finished up the heel now, and I'm going to be joining my heel. You can see that it now actually looks like a heel to the instep. And so I'm going to do my last knit 3 together on this side. And I'm going to turn the work. And I'm still making my yarn overs. And we'll see how we can clean up where we're joining. Now the problem is that where you have your join is that those stitches have gotten stretched out. By the way, that's what those yarn overs look like on the inside. So you know what you're shooting for there. So it's going to involve a little bit of manipulation, and it's kind of like there's some things in knitting like joining, finishing up the thumb or fingers on mittens and gloves, and where it's kind of more art than science. And you just kind of have to look at it when you're there and see what's going to be the best way to go. And joining the instep is, now this is the last time I'm going to be working on the wrong side of the work. After this row, I'm going to be working in the round again. And the rest of my sock I'll be working in the round. Okay, and here's the last SSP. Slide this on, and I'm gonna work those 3 together. And notice I'm still making, that yarn over when I turn, because I'm going to use that yarn over to help close up the hole where I join the heel to the instep. And now I'm working in the round. And again, I like to use double-pointed needles, but that's just me. There's no right or wrong way. You find what you like, you stick with it. If anybody's telling you that you're using the wrong needles or that their way is better than yours, just ignore them, because they don't know any better. You have to find the method that works for you. You just can't listen to people when you're telling that your equipment isn't as good as theirs. And I'm getting to the point. Now I've got those 32 stitches, so it's taking a little longer than when I turned the heel, where I only had 8. Alright, here we go. I work up to my yarn over, and this is what I've got going on this side. Notice that I've got this big gap, and I've got this huge stitch here. Well, there's a variety of things you can do. What I find works just the best, and I'm going to be working a knit 2 together. Notice how these are slanting towards the right. That's a knit 2 together. Is I'm just going to pull this guy up here that's slack, and I'm going to kind of make a stitch out of it. I'm going to put my yarn over there, and I'm going to work this stitch. Knit all 3 of those things together. And notice that kind of tightens that up. Is it beautiful? No. Does it close up the hole? Yes. And if somebody is looking that close at a sock when it's on your foot to see that that's not very pretty, they really need to get alive. And I'm merrily working my way down. To where I'm working across the top of the sock now, to where I've got that last join, and because it's on the left side, I'm going to be using an SSK to work a left slanting decrease. Now I've got this stitch here. This is the stitch on this side that I'm going to be joining up with that yarn over, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just kind of take that slack, and I'm going to work it around here, and I'm going to put my stitch on there, and I'm going to be doing an SSK. So I'm going to slip. There's that thing I created, and there's the yarn over, and I'm going to slip those guys together, and there I go. And again, is it beautiful? No. Is it closed up the hole? Yeah. And so I'm just going to continue to work up this way. Now where I'm going with my sock now, that I've finished that, so I'm right there, is I'm going to work some plain rows to get it over my ankle, and then I'm going to work a stitch pattern. And the stitch pattern that works well for socks is ribbing. That's why I chose it for this. But to just jazz it up a little bit, I decided to put a cable at the side, just to kind of make it a little more interesting. You can do that or not do it. But what you want to do is work about an inch and a quarter above where your heel has been closed up so that the sock will fit over your ankle. Having all of this ribbing really low down on your foot might not be very